Hey, good morning everybody. I'm showing you this calendar picture of my new cell phone so I can isolate my statements in today's date. Stay with me, trust me, this is going to be one of the best videos I've ever made. Stay with this video. Now, as you can see, I'm showing you that it's September 2015 and the date that this is being made, okay, is the 20th, okay, of September 2015, okay? And we all know by using our phones that when you go to the calendar, the current date is highlighted. So you can clearly see Sunday, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and then the 20th is Sunday, and it's highlighted. So that means it's the 20th of September 2015. My name is Leslie Williams. Let me turn this phone off so I can preserve my batteries. Alright, now I'm going to prop this phone up, or this video camera up, so hold on. Okay, hello. Now, stay with me 1 second, let me get this phone in my pocket. Alright, now, this is going to be a great video, everybody, and I apologize, it might seem like it's taking a little bit long to get it started, but just bear with me 1 more second so I can prop this video camera up so I can sit down and make the video, tell you why it's being made. Okay? Gotta prop it up first, make sure I didn't accidentally hit the record button. Don't want to I'm gonna be making a video and then find out that the record button wasn't on because I accidentally touched it. Okay, so let me sit down, and I'm in an area where the landscape is not even, so I gotta kind of adjust where I'm sitting at, because this is gonna be at least a 40-minute video. So it's completely stupid to try and make a video. What the hell? Hold on 1 second. I moved my bag over and it ended up on my cigarettes. Okay, here we go. I'm on uneven ground, so I'm trying to situate this duffel bag I'm sitting on in a way to where it's not causing my body physical exertion in order to be able to sit. Alright, so anyways, sorry about that. Let me get the cigarette lit, and trust me, absolutely this is going to be one of the best videos I've ever made, because what I'm describing in it it's going to blow your mind. Alright, now, I am a target victim and activist concerning the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be called gang stalking. And, let me light my cigarette. Now, this video is going to be about what they pulled in November of 2014, which produced 3 years of summary probation for illegal lodging. Okay? That's what this video is going to be about, and you need to, if you're following me on online, whether it be my blog, U.S.C, SD, and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking, which is the title of the blog, okay, whether you're following me on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, I guarantee you, this is going to be the video that's going to open up your eyes concerning how I have been stating all the way back to 2011 that this is nothing but organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level. Hold on. Okay. That is perpetrating the criminal expeditions of what is known as organized stalking, which can also be termed as gang stalking. And it's not stalking by gangs, so don't let that term confuse you or misdirect your thinking concerning who is responsible for this crime. Excuse me, please. In fact, the term gang stalking was literally given the name of this crime by the actual perpetrators for disinformation purposes. Hold on. So, I've already stated at least 3 times, stay with this video, because you will be glad that you did. I've made hundreds and hundreds of videos that are all over the internet right now, and this is literally one of the best ones that I've ever made. So please stay with it. Now, I just to make another personal note here, I just sat down after doing a bunch of work in the heat. So, as a result of being a target of this crime, especially if they've made you homeless, you gotta kind of do what you gotta do on the fly in reference to exposing the criminality that's happening to you. All of my time is spent surviving this crime, taking care of business that's got to get taken care of, just general business, okay, and then running around back and forth trying to get to libraries and to do what I got to do in libraries to expose this crime, uploading the videos to YouTube and so on and so forth. So sometimes when I am in the middle, okay, of all of what I just stated, I find that little small window of opportunity to make a video. Okay, so I apologize, I'm not in the best setting, and I apologize for the way I look. What's most important is to listen to what I'm going to tell you, and it begins now. Hold on. Alright, now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you how they're using the courts and your tax dollars. Okay, if you're a citizen of California and or San Diego County, you are literally paying through property tax, sales tax, income tax, and whatever else, even inheritance tax. You are literally paying for the funding of the criminal operations of what is known as organized stalking, gang stalking, and this crime is directly connected to every single type of criminal motivation that your mind can conceive and cannot, including human trafficking, including of children. So, fellow American citizens, what I'm doing right now today is I'm going to expose to you, and I'm going to have to talk fast because I'm going to make this video about 49 minutes long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to explain to you, okay, what they're doing to me so you can see how this crap operates. Pay attention. First and foremost, I want you to understand something. In no way, shape, or form do I know any of these people who are doing this to me at the acquaintance level, the intimate level, the personal level, the friendship level, and any other type of level. In other words, they're complete strangers to me. I've never had any type of relationship with them. What's happening to me is not the result of any type of lifestyle that I've ever had or have. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. Now, so what I'm going to do before I explain how they're using the courts to trap victims of this crime in their criminality, and you better believe that insurance fraud and racketeering is absolutely connected to these criminal realities as well. Violations of the RICO Act. Hold on. I hate making videos when I look like this. I'm in the heat, so I had to take off my shirt. Okay. And the perpetrators in Michigan literally stole my dentures within 10 days of me getting them, and you would not believe the hell I went through to get them. So don't let my appearance, it's not how I would normally look. Alright, so anyways, check this out. Before I get into what occurred and how they're, in November 2014, and U.C. SD Campus Police was directly involved in it, and then they eventually used specific San Diego police officers for it. And I'll explain that as I get to that aspect of this video. Stay with this video. But what I'm going to do first is show you, I'm going to literally explain to you some of the mechanisms of how they make women homeless in order to exploit them. 71% of the targets of this crime are women. Now, let me help you understand another thing. It's an addendum, okay, and it stitches right into what I'm stating. I'm a grown woman. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I'm a practicing, obedient Christian woman, which means that I have a working relationship with my Heavenly Father, the Holy Trinity. Okay, I don't do drugs, I don't steal, I don't even drink. I don't sleep around, I don't do anything wrong. I mind my business everywhere I go. I even give to charity, and I'm homeless. Now, the homelessness was created by these filthy red-ass animal whores from Michigan. Now, if you research the weather in Michigan, when it gets real cold in the winter, sometimes 30 below, try surviving that in a tent in Michigan. And that's the reason why I came to California. Hold on. Now, gang stalking, organized stalking is a nationwide syndicate. And when one target, any target, moves from one state to another state, the syndicate, through observation, surveillance, covert tracking, which I'll discuss as well, they are aware that the target's preparing to leave town through cyber surveillance, like if I look up my Amtrak schedule or Greyhound, whatever. Through the cyber surveillance at libraries, they hack into our personal computers, what we look up on our phone, cell phone hacking. All my descriptions can be Googled and cross-referenced to first, organized stalking, separate searches, gang stalking. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Now, you can even go to YouTube right now and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. Sorry about that. Go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids. That's a victim of gang stalking being covered on the news. And you'll see in Lieutenant Larry Richards from Santa Cruz, California, flat out state that this crime's been going on forever and that it's even reached out into the cyber world. Then go to Google and type in cyber surveillance and gang stalking. So if a target like me or any other target decides that they've had enough in the current community or state that they've been gang stalked all over the place at, they might think to themselves, whether they're aware that what's happening to them is gang stalking or not, what they'll say is, okay, well, I got whatever amount of money I got on me, maybe if I just move, even out of state, maybe this shit will stop. Please excuse my language. So they'll get online at a public library, they'll use their phone, internet activity, they'll use their own personal computer. The perpetrators have already hacked into it. And can absolutely hack into it at libraries. Absolutely. Go to Google and type in organized stalking, gang stalking in libraries. As a result, they know what you're looking up and where you're heading to. As like if I go to online and I say, okay, I'm going to go to Greyhound, their website, and look up how to get from Michigan to Connecticut. Then when I go to Connecticut, I'm gang stalking Connecticut. I look up on library computers how to get to Connecticut to San Diego. Okay, it's literally that simple. So go to Google and type in libraries and gang stalking, libraries and cyber surveillance. And this is how they're able to take the information about where you're planning on traveling to, so the syndicate that was in that state can notify the syndicate in the state you're going into in order to take over the campaign towards you once you arrive in that state. It's a nationwide syndicate. Absolutely. Hold on. I hate smoking while I'm making a cigarette. I really do. Okay, so anyways. So that's how targeted individuals are stalked from state to state to state. Now, interstate stalking is a federal crime. It's a felony. But since this is organized crime in the system at the federal, state, and local level, they don't give two shits. The system don't care anyways. Why would the system help a target of this crime when it's the system that's perpetrating it? So, what I'm going to do right now is explain to you what they did with Erica Dean Gilmore, a California target, a black woman she was a single woman with a child. I read her PDF file online, cross-referenced it to some aspects of my experience to other testimony of other targeted individuals. So what I'm going to do is tell you her name, Erica Dean Gilmore, California target, gang stalking. Google it until you run across the Freedom FC HS PDF documentation. And what you're going to find is her stating how they made her homeless. And I'm going to describe it so you can see how this syndicate thinks. It's relevant, so just pay attention and bear with me. Now, if you went to Home Depot right now and you walked into any of their aisles and you decided, okay, well, I'm going to look for a piece of plywood, okay, and I need, let's say, 6 feet by 8 feet, whatever, or you might have to buy 2 in order to cover that specific area. Now, why am I saying this? Because what they did, now, before I continue, go to Google, either now or later, and type in city housing inspectors and gang stalking, and then do it to organized stalking. See, what this is that these are government employees, okay, in part, that are using their employment descriptions to engage in techniques in order to assist in making the target homeless. And you'll understand why I said that in a second. So if you went to Home Depot and you look at how much plywood it would take to cover a 6 foot by 8 foot bathroom floor or a ceiling. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because it appears that she was staying in Section 8 housing or some type of apartment, and the individuals above her flooded out her ceiling, okay, it dripped down into her apartment, into her bathroom. The city inspector then came in and said this apartment is now uninhabitable and that the tenant has to move, even though she complained numerous times to the landlord to fix it. Now go to Google and type in organized stalking or gang stalking and landlords, property owners, city inspectors, okay, housing departments. And you'll see I'm telling you the truth because there's information all over the internet concerning she's not the only one that they've done this to. Now, the reason why I state go to Home Depot and look at the price of what it would cost, look, most apartment complexes have their own handyman, okay? And if they decide to call up a handyman, they're relatively cheap. A lot of big apartment complexes already have different types of supplies already on hand anyways as a result of keeping the maintenance going of the entire complex. So they probably already had backup remnants of plywood anyways. Now, why am I bringing that up? Well, let's look at the cost of plywood in reference to how much money they would have made off of her and her child once they made her homeless. Now, we all know that in a plumbing situation, if the ceiling got flooded out, the water came down through her ceiling, and then got into her bathroom, it only takes so much money to fix that. Especially even if they're bartering with handymen to do it. Like, you do the work, we'll pay you off with sex from a woman that we've already gotten a hold of, and maybe a little bit of money. Do you understand? Now, city inspectors are already all over the internet to be directly connected to organized stalking. Landlords and property owners are as well. Now, here's another kicker. Go to Google and type in how these little filthy rats will either rent apartments above, below, or next to a target, or across from a target, or use their employment descriptions, law enforcement, including detectives or whatever, even federal positions, okay, to gain access of these apartments that are above, below, next to, or across from the target. Adjacent. So just go to Google and type in gang stalking, renting adjacent apartments next to target, you know, and see what comes up. So they flooded out her ceiling of her bathroom from the apartment above. Then he used the city inspector to deem the apartment uninhabitable, even though she complained about it repetitively to the landlord. They used that as an excuse to evict her, made her homeless. She then subsequently tried to rent different apartments through different landlords at different apartment complexes. She'd fill out the application for tenancy. No one would call her until she finally physically went to one, okay? And the landlord at that place told her that a man had told him not to rent to her because they wanted to keep the homelessness ongoing. Now, why did they do this? In the midst of all this happening, she was going to motel rooms in order to keep a roof over her head for her and her daughter, and that causes her to go through money. Now, also in the midst of this, creatively, by propping people up along her routes, they try to get her involved in prostitution. Now, go to Google and type in social services and gang stalking as well. You got a mother, an African American woman, single with a child, trying to survive all this while it's going on. Okay, while she's trying to get help from social services, okay, while the individuals that they're propping up along her route are trying to get her involved in illegal activity. Now, why would they do this? To make money off the prostitution and then eventually use a syndicated cop to arrest her for it to take the child. So the child can be put in an organized crime syndicated run foster care home where federal, state, and local funds are applied for in that child's name, where the child also probably more than likely, I'd say at least 95%, becomes a victim of child pornography. Absolutely. And other types of insurance fraud that are attached to the insurance that is applied for in that child's name by labeling the child as delusional, bipolar, ADD, whatever, so they can make money off that angle. Doctors. Go to Google and type in doctors and gang stalking. Now, what they would probably do with Erica Dean Gilmore is suck her into drug addiction or prostitution, so they can make money off that, and maybe even possibly down the road, when she's been arrested for it multiple times while she's homeless, probably make her a ward of the state and put her in a syndicated run organized crime group home, so the same thing can happen to her. Federal, state, and local funds, insurance, and probably more than likely human trafficker in these homes. Now, what I just told you, every single last bit of it is the absolute literal truth. They took this woman out of her home to do this to her for monetary gain. Absolutely. So when you cross-reference all the money that they would make off of her and her child to the cost of replacing the plywood to fix the ceiling that caused the flooding, that was then used as a normal appearing excuse to deem her apartment uninhabitable to make the homelessness. Do the cost-benefit ratio. How much does it cost to fix some plywood and a ceiling? In order to then, once she was made homeless, to then re-rent that apartment to somebody else. Do you understand? My name is Leslie Williams. I have a degree in drafting. I'm 3 college credit hours away from another degree. I had numerous certificates in computers. Okay, I'm a good woman. I was going to college when this started towards me openly, but it was already happening to me and I didn't know it, covertly, by individuals who had infiltrated my life in 1986. Or 1989, 1988, 1989, but they had already eyeballed me in 86. Okay? Now, they made me homeless in Michigan. I was gang stalked at least to 4 apartments that I can, because once I became aware that what was happening to me was gang stalking on June 9, 2009, I was able to then do exhaustive research in reference to who they are, how they operate, what they've done to other targets, and then cross-reference that to what had begun towards me in 2001 when they started the open gang stalking towards me. I then, through experience, educated knowledge from what I derived from the internet pertaining to what they do, how they operate, and to what they've done to other targets, cross-referenced it to my experience. I am absolutely, and you would not believe the experience of the things that have happened to me. I cross-reference it and can literally identify this shit going on at least back to 1986. Absolutely, and I have read targeted individuals' blogs, looked at their YouTube videos, who are stating they've been victims of this crime for 30 to 60 years. Hold on. So what I'm going to do right now is then also explain to you some of the other mechanisms and techniques that they use to get a hold of you for this illegal syndicated probate control, or also for, street human trafficking, so that they can then use that in order to get the probate control. Now let me tell you something right now, ladies and gentlemen. What you got to understand here is that when organized crime in the system is using their employment descriptions to do what they're doing, they have to make it appear as much as possible that what's happening to the target is happening because of normal appearing mishaps, normal appearing reasons, normal appearing excuses, or coincidences. Otherwise, everything that led up to the exploitation of the target can be backtracked by looking in the rearview mirror based on what brought everything about, and employment descriptions can be identified, and boom, people can go to jail. So they have to make it appear that what's happening to the target in reference to the destitution, the created homelessness, the mechanisms that were used to take away the existing money the target might have on them, their identification, their driver's licenses, their eligibility for food stamps. Because money and food stamps, like Social Security disability, and cash and food stamps is what a target uses to sustain themselves daily, so they don't have to listen to a person who's given them ideas magically along their routes at a grocery store, at a bus stop, on a bus route. Even if they're not talking to the target directly, they will get around the target and put ideas in their head based on conversations they're having with each other about where they can go if they're destitute. Oh, they'll get on the bus and say, oh, my friend was lost his job, he ended up homeless, he had nowhere to go, so he went to St. Vincent de Paul, he went to Salvation Army, he went to Goodwill, he went to a local church. Google all these descriptions to gang stalking, because they know where a targeted individual is going to run to for help, because they're the ones who created the destitution that produced the need for help. Now, fellow American citizens, this is organized crime in a system that's got tentacles out within the community, and some of their tactics and techniques are designed to also influence any place or person in the community because of the way they operate. To give you a preliminary example concerning this, go to YouTube and type in "listen to a stranger." Individuals walking around with fake badges, but make no mistake about it, there are syndicated police, and federal agents as well. And what they're doing is they're using their employment descriptions to combine it with a fake bogus criminal investigation file, an actual pieces of paper that's made to look official, combine it with a badge and a slander campaign about the target, and they can get any place or anybody to do anything for them based on these 3 attributes alone. Okay. They can call up a place, or if they can see that a target's going to a specific place, they can call up a place or walk in it right after the target's arrived, flash a badge, say, see this woman, they'll show a picture of her or even point her out. Do not help her because she's under investigation for criminal activity, when it's actually them, the criminal motherfuckers, that are involved in this shit. Because they got to keep the help away from the target. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and this is going to be where the video is now going to get great. So listen to every syllable I state. Now, go to Google and type in universities and gang stalking. In fact, go to Google and type in UCSD and law library, are they networking gang stalking? That's the title of the blog. Then also go back to Google and type in UCSD and gang stalking. UCSD in La Jolla believes that they're going to walk away from what they did. And them and their little whore syndicated police, SDPD officers, and even SDSD officers, the San Diego Sheriff's Department and San Diego Police Department, will absolutely and literally, make no mistake about it, 100% completely use their employment descriptions to aid and abet in the gang stalking expedition in order to put me in a position and circumstance to where I can't even eat, feed myself, sleep anywhere, camping, okay, or get around transportation. They'll target the bike and the bus card or the money that would pay for the bus card. Because this is how they literally create such bad destitution. The target doesn't even have the money to go to a lawyer, to make a phone call, to send a fax to a lawyer. Okay? UCSD police believe that they're walking away from what they did. Hold on. I guarantee you they're not. And when I say that, it's not a threat concerning violence or anything. No way. I'm not that stupid. What I'm talking about is legally. Okay? Now, hear me out concerning what they did. And I'm going to show you how these mechanisms work. Before I explain their role in it, I want you to go to Google right now, or as soon as this video is over, and type in San Diego Public Defender's Office corruption. Look at what comes up. Look at everything that comes up. And that means everything. Then go to Google and type in Jan, J-A-N, Goldsmith, California Family Coalition, concerning how the California Family Coalition is suing Jan Goldsmith, who's the head prosecutor for San Diego County, and how they're using the courts, the prosecutor's office, psychologists that are attached to the county, city, and state to target the California Family Coalition, and how hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent, okay, prosecuting the California Family Coalition and defending itself as a result of the lawsuits filed towards them by the California Family Coalition. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent in lawyer fees, court fees, and everything. Your tax dollars are being used by a criminal in the criminal's office, the same office that's prosecuting me for illegal lodging. Now, do you really believe they don't know who I am? Bear with me, and you connect the dots. Now, let me take a puff off this cigarette and drink some water for a second, because once I start talking, you're going to be able to see what I'm telling you is the truth. Hold on. Now, what they can do, though, is take this video and claim Miss Williams is paranoid schizophrenic. She thinks everybody's conspiring against her, which is a method of gang stalking. Google that. Now, remember, the key here is to remember that they got to make sure that what they're doing towards the target is happening through normal appearing reasons, normal appearing excuses, normal appearing mishaps. They made me homeless by stealing my rent out of the mail. United States Postal Service mail that was mailed, certified mail return receipt. It's the reason why I sent it that way, because I wanted to be able to have a tracking record that rent was mailed and eventually stolen, and that's how they did it. The landlord kept trying to get me to pay the rent by cash or hand it to him. No way. And I knew why he was doing it too. Okay. All right. So check this out. On August 27, 2014, I was camping off of Gilman Road and Gilman Drive in the wooded area that's right across the street from a park and ride. And at the corner of that park and ride is an intersection. And right at that intersection it says Gilman Road, or Gilman Street and Gilman Drive, or Gilman Drive and Gilman Court. I was hiking in and camping in that wooded area right across the street. That wooded area is on Gilman, right off of Gilman Road. UCSD is right literally up the street. Not even about about 1.25 miles away on the same road. Now, I was gang stalked all over UCSD campus by biomedical library staff. Played a huge role in the gang stalking of me. They also brought punks in there, homeless people in there that bothered me on prior occasions and current occasions in reference to the, when I mean by current occasions, like they would use specific individuals inside the library and outside of it where my bike was parked at the bike rack on prior dates. Then use those same individuals to provoke an event in there to make it appear that my reaction to the event was inappropriate to a person, to onlookers. Okay? Now, so I'm going to state to you right now, this very second, biomedical library staff, library security, okay, and campus safety played a direct role. Well, biomedical library staff and library security played a direct role in the gang stalking. Campus safety, I tried to report it to them 9 times, they did not care. So did Club Med restaurant employees, which is a restaurant right up the walkway from the biomedical library, played a role in it, as well as Sunshine Market employees, which is a little market that's inside the Price Center building, which is on campus. Played a huge role in it, as well as with students and staff. Now, fellow American citizens, I have no reason to lie about this. Not at all. And if you go to that blog, U.C.S.D. and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking, you'll see indisputable proof I was gang stalked on their campus and complaining about it and exposing it. And not just exposing the fact that I was being gang stalked, but exposing evidence of it. Hold on. So, I was giving them hell concerning it. Now, hold on. I also caught a library security guard at UCSD flat out admitting to me in a hidden running tape recorder that a staged complaint can cause me to be banned, which is what they literally did through a letter in the mail, giving me no reason for the banning at all. So this is what they did concerning how they're using the courts to trap me. They came to my hiking area on August 27, 2014. Okay, within 23 hours after I sent some tweets to some news stations, made some comments, and it got posted on Twitter about how gang stalking is directly connected to human trafficking and that I'm absolutely being gang stalked all over UCSD campus. Remember, cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking. So they seen they were being exposed. Okay, they'll deny it, claim that they didn't know it at all. Of course they will. Otherwise, if they admit it, they'll be completely directly implicated in it. So on August 27, 2014, they came to that camping area. UCSD campus police did. And let me tell you another thing what they did. They parked their police car. All right, so here I am at where my tent is at in that woods. If you picture this square right here, I'm going to take my fingers down, but hold it in your memory where it is. Now, this is where the tent was in that wooded area. When you walk away from the tent and then go up this little thing here and leads up to the street, that's where they parked their car. But when they approached my area, they came all the way from the opposite direction. And they were claiming they were looking for somebody that's got an no, I'm sorry. On that day, they said that they were just surveying the area, okay, to see if anybody was up in here camping and stumbled across me. That's what they did on August 27, 2014. Now, they gave me a ticket. I had to appear in a court originally on October 22nd, 2014 for the arraignment. They then moved that court date up to December 1st. They changed it without... They arbitrarily changed it. Now, from the time I got the ticket, a few days before September, August 27, 2014, I started getting reviewed through Social Services, Social Security, and I had some major, massive dealings going on with federal student loans concerning my federal student loans from school, which were coerced for me to take out repetitively by organized stalking, gang stalking perpetrators in Michigan. Okay? Now, So they gave me this ticket. The original arraignment date was October 22nd, 2014. They moved it to December 1st. So I'm in the between late August 27th when I got the ticket, and November 10th, I was moving property, having to pack it up, go through it in order to categorize it, move it to several backup hiking locations so I could have a hiking kit for each location, things I needed, blankets, sleeping bags, extra tents, stuff like that. Now I had to take them to separate locations, but first I had to make up the kits while dealing with a Social Security review, a Social Services review, and the bullshit that the federal student loan pool in between, while having to survive the current crimes that were happening to me, expose them, and then daily errands, running around, getting grocery store needs met, and stuff like that. Okay? So, I was making videos literally showing, I posted them all over the internet saying, I'm preparing to move from here, this is my property. I even showed property bagged up, stating I'm getting ready to take these bags right now to other places, gotta go. Made numerous videos. I also made videos stating I'm days away from moving, posted them to the internet. Okay? So, before I got a chance to move, and I even made videos and audio files stating numerous things. One of them was that if they come down here and arrest me, they'll probably try and claim that it's because they're in the area looking for somebody that's got a warrant, or because somebody else was seen or heard in the area, or because litter was noticed as a result of the litter that was left behind by some assholes that they had propped up that harassed me on a feverish scale day and night, okay, at that area. And they were harassing me in the same exact identical verbal way that I was harassed at UCSD, and they were caught. So that connects that area to the gang stalking to UCSD. So go to that blog that I told you, that title, and you'll see the proof. Okay? So on November 9th, 2014, I made a tweet on Twitter at that area stating, let's see if TTTTT, which is a coded abbreviation I use for me, okay, and it absolutely, once the code is revealed, it absolutely indisputably proves that it's me. Okay, so I made a tweet stating I'm predicting that I'm going to be arrested either at my new hiking area or my current hiking area in the next 2 weeks. TTTTT. I think I dated it and then sent the tweet to Twitter. Now once you send a tweet to Twitter, Twitter isolates the date as well. 22 hours later, UCSD campus police and SDPD came to that camping area and arrested me for illegal lodging, trying to claim that they were looking for somebody who had a warrant, that it was at UCSD looking for them and using SDPD for the arrest if he was found, and then they acted like they stumbled across me. Now, the reason why I made these predictions in several audio files about what excuses might be used to come up in the area to arrest me was because I had to look for normal appearing excuses they would use, otherwise it would be outwardly apparent that they were targeting me there purposely. So I thought to myself, what excuses would they use? And I literally made statements in numerous audio files stating what excuses they would use, and they literally used the excuse I predicted months before. Hold on. So they arrested me on November 10th, 2014 for illegal lodging. They took me to some skanked out detention center in Santee run by San Diego Sheriff's Department officers. And when they were arresting me, they asked me if I had any money on me. I said yes, I got about $1,800 on me. They asked to see it. I showed it to them, and an American Express gift card. So I showed it to them. They put me in the van, okay, and then they put me in the van, and then they took me to the detention center. And once I got to the detention center, they got out of the van, walked around the van, opened it up, and then an SDPD officer tried to get me to sign a blank form that's dedicated to logging how much cash you have on here. I said, no, I won't sign it because it's not filled out yet. And he said, well, if you don't sign it, I'm going to give you another ticket for impeding an investigation. I go, you go right ahead and do it. So then he got me out of the van, took me inside, asked me for my money, and put it in a machine that counted it, and then gave me the receipt. That right there should put a red flag up to you. Okay? I was then kept there until the 13th of November, and then taken by bus to the courthouse in San Diego on Broadway, and they put us in a holding cell, me and other inmates. I got assaulted. Now that was predicted by me and in at least audio files, because I thought to myself, when I go to the arraignment for the August 27, 2014 ticket, they could put me in jail for that. And so I made statements about what could happen to me concerning that. And I made statements in my tape recorder. Let's see if I do go to jail for that ticket, if I'm assaulted in jail. Okay, so bear with me. Yeah. So they take me to the courthouse and put us in holding cells. I get assaulted. Okay, then the public defender comes. He calls my name. I'm taken out of the cell, and he sits me down and he says, "Okay, you got this ticket here." He goes, you can be, and I explained to him that I already had another ticket for August 27th. He goes, well, that will be dealt with separately when that, I told him the court date for it, December 1st. He goes, well, all you got to do is deal with that once it's dealt with. But he goes, it probably already is a matter of court record. I said, okay. He goes, if you don't plead guilty, okay, you'll probably go back to jail until your trial. Now, they're doing this to me while I just got assaulted, okay, and while I'm being reviewed through Social Security, Social Services, and dealing with federal student loans. If I was going to be put in jail, I would have lost everything because I would not have been physically attentive to be able to be physically present to take care of these reviews, okay? Now, gang stalking has been caught in the same exact way it was caught at the camping center off of Gilman Road, that's been caught at UCSD, that's been caught at Social Services. The videos are in that blog. Okay? Now, fellow American citizens. So, this phone right here is hacked. They've even sent me text messages stating that it's hacked. Okay? They've even sent me text messages stating that the police have been sent the GPS location of my cell phone concerning my camping area. Now, the videos of the text messages and the snap screenshot shots of them that have been then sent to Instagram, the videos and the Instagram links are in that blog. Okay, they also sent me 3 letters in the mail, United States Postal Service, one of them literally stating, explain why you lost Social Security and Social Services to Social Services once you get arrested again for illegal lodging. And then one of the letters says, your gang stalking has now been elevated to level 4. Okay, absolutely. So, what I'm going to do in a minute here, let me check the batteries. Oh shit, I gotta hurry up and finish talking. So, because I only got about 4 minutes left, I think, on this video file. Alright, so, what he did was, he goes, well, if you plead guilty, you walk today, and then you can appeal this one. I said, okay. That will free me so I can be free, so I can stay physically attentive to the reviews. So I said, okay. So he got me to sign a piece of paper. He then walks away and then comes back and says, oh, I had you sign the wrong piece of paper. I go, what? While I am being rushed verbally by a San Diego Sheriff's Department officer saying, you gotta hurry up, the bus is being loaded. So I'm being hurried up by a San Diego Sheriff's deputy while he's claiming that he accidentally got me to sign the wrong piece of paper. You gotta sign this while I'm being rushed to hurry up and do it. So I signed it. Then I get released after being taken back to the Santee jail. They released me that night. Didn't get home until almost 1 a.m. Okay. Then I moved from that area the very next day. Then when I went to go appear to the court appearance on December 1st for the August 27th ticket, guess what I found out? That public defender illegally and criminally, without my consent or knowledge, consolidated both of those tickets together and put me on 3 years of what is known as summary probation. On August 9th, 2015, two San Diego park rangers came to my hiking area in Rose Canyon. And before they gave me a ticket for illegal lodging, I caught one of them flat out admitting that them being in my physical presence was because of retaliation of me sending San Diego Police Chief Zimmerman tweets on Twitter of me being gang stalked and more. He literally flat out admitted that I said I baited you guys to come to me as a result of what I sent San Diego Police Chief Zimmerman. He goes, it worked. Right on video, caught flat out, right out in the open, on video, as plain as you're seeing me now. So when I go to court on Thursday, September 24th, 2015, they can say that I violated this summary probation that they illegally and criminally put me on and put me in jail. Right when, again, I'm being reviewed again through social services. And if I get put in jail for more than 30 days, I automatically lose my Social Security. I then get released from jail, and they can steal everything I got on me now. My cash, way over $1,000. My American Express, well, between the American Express gift card and the cash, well, at least $1,800. Evidence, phones, cameras, bus card, bridge food stamp card, Medicare card, everything. Evidence, cameras, phones, money, driver's licenses, everything I own. So then when I'm released, I have no money, no bus card, no food stamp card. I've already been taken off of food stamps because the review happened while I was in jail. Do you see what's happening here? It's happening in the same months right before my reviews. So when you go to that blog and you see that the gang stalking occurred towards me, and gang stalking was caught in the same way that was happening to me at Social Services, the Campaneer off of Gilman Road, at UCSD was also caught in Rose Canyon. Fellow American citizens, my name is U.S.C. Williams. If this video stops while I'm in the middle of talking, it's because I ran out of video time. So what I'm doing right now is preparing to show you an audio file of me being gang stalked. And one of the two men that played a role in this event you're about ready to hear was one of the men that played a role, was one of the men that they had propped up at the hiking area off of Gilman Road. And it occurred on a sidewalk right across the street from there. Do you hear these two men say gang stalking, gang stalked together, gang stalking, and gang stalking? I'm going to F you up. You be the judge. Okay, so what I'm doing, fellow American citizens, this has been played to multiple police officers. It was played to them the day they came out in Rose Canyon on August 9, 2015. Now, in closing, yesterday or the day before, I sent that YouTube video link to the San Diego prosecutor's office concerning the San Diego Park Ranger admitting them coming to that area to give me an illegal lodging ticket was for retaliation. I sent it through faxes, through a copy machine at the law library. I went to UPS on Broadway Street and sent them the fax of this, along with communications between me and the public defender's office about what this San Diego public defender did in November 2014. I also hand-delivered it to him as well. Now today I'm going to make scans of what was sent through faxes and hand-delivered. I'm going to make scans of them, attach them as a PDF link, and put them in the blog, either today or tomorrow. We're going to see if they put me in jail, and if they do, on September 24, 2015, it'll be done in order to, I'll lose the Social Security, I'll lose the Social Services, and if they steal all my shit while I'm in jail, when I'm released, I have nothing, which brings me closer to human trafficking, and how am I supposed to get these benefits back if I can't even prove who I am, if I can't prove that none of this was done through collusion. Even though I've already proved it. When you have a San Diego Park Ranger say it worked, when you state to him that I baited him to come to this area, how did they know where I was? How did they know where the area was? I literally stated I baited you guys to come to me as a result of me sending evidence of me being gang stalked to San Diego Police Chief Zimmerman, including being gang stalked here. He flat out said right out in the open, it worked. So why would he say that? There's no way he could misunderstand what I was saying to him, because I was saying it directly to him. So, this is the story. Do the math. Research meticulously every statement I made in this video. Right down to every description, to every employment description, to every description of their techniques concerning what is happening to me. Okay? If I get put in jail on the 24th, this Thursday, for more than 30 days, I'll lose Social Security and Social Services, and if they steal the money I have on me, my food, and everything I've already mentioned, well, think about it. I'm in San Diego, California. My name is U.S.C. Williams. Go to that blog. Go to it, and you'll see I'm telling you the truth. Thank you.